Hey, you know Pablo Escobar, the drug lord? Yeah, I'm at his old house right now here in rural Colombia, and I'm looking for some hippos. But wait, no. Hippos aren't supposed to be here. They're not supposed to be here. Hippos exist here, not in Colombia. So Pablo Escobar was one of the most infamous and most successful drug lords in history. The guy had an entire empire of cocaine production and trafficking throughout the world.
One of the world's most wanted men, drug trafficker Pablo Escobar, is also accused of murder and terrorism.
And with all of his drug money, he wanted to build a private zoo. He imported giraffes and exotic animals from all over the world, including 4 hippos. When Pablo Escobar was shot and killed in the early 90s, the government came in and reclaimed this estate. And they took all the animals and they distributed them out to other zoos, except for the hippopotamuses. They didn't touch the hippos. They kind of just let them go free into the swamp. These hippos are now a ticking time bomb. Today, there are 50 of these hippos. They've proliferated very quickly, and they are now a big problem for the Colombian government and a threat to these locals. To understand why this is such a big deal, you have to understand hippos.
Hippos are huge mammals native to the continent of Africa, and they're pretty aggressive.
Some call hippos the most ferocious mammals on the planet. But wait, aren't hippos cute, cuddly animals?
There's that one scene in Fantasia where the hippos are dancing ballet with the crocodiles, and it's the crocodiles that seem scary, not the hippos. Well, the reality is actually the exact opposite. Hippos routinely kill crocodiles.
Got him big time.
More people are killed by hippos in Africa every year than any other wild animal. Escobar's estate has since been turned into a theme park where you can kind of wander around and look at different animals, and the hippopotamuses then became kind of a part of the spectacle. It's actually a pretty cool park. Like if I were staying here a few days, I would totally hang out here. So the audio track that's playing that's explaining these hippopotamuses frames them as this positive experiment in conservation.
La administración del parque se propuso un audaz plan de rescate y conservación de estos asombrosos animales salvajes.
That they're able to live in a natural environment and thrive.
Para que tengan una vida natural y lo más parecido que se ha podido a sus condiciones naturales de vida.
But I'm gonna go talk to a biologist who actually has a very different take.
Problema muy grande, estamos hablando de más de 50 hipopótamos que están acá. Hay una invasión de hipopótamos.
So the problem here is that the park can't actually contain the hippos. They've actually started wandering and settling down in rivers and ponds hundreds of miles away.
We're coming up to another group here. There's just 3 of them that hang out in this other pond. Oh, and they're a little more aggressive.
So David and his team are tasked with figuring out a solution to this problem, of how to stop these hippos from moving around and what to do with the population as it grows. But this is really hard stuff, mainly because no one's ever had to do this before.
Uno no encuentra en internet qué hacer. Pues yo digo, tú buscas, venga, yo tengo una población de hipopótamos en un estado, en un sitio en el que no pertenece. ¿Yo qué hago? No.
Here's why this is a big problem. What you're looking at here is what David calls
El cielo de los hipopótamos.
Yes, this is hippo heaven.
In Africa, there's usually droughts that stave off the proliferation of the hippos. Here, there aren't droughts.
O sea, es el lugar ideal.
Without a natural predator or any sort of competition, they're sexually active earlier on in their lives, they eat more, They are just living their best lives.
El trópico es alimento durante todo el año, durante todo el tiempo.
Colombia is one of the most biodiverse places on Earth, and a growing invasive species population means a disruption to that diversity. Invasive species are a top cause for a loss in biodiversity, and biologists have already started to notice that the hippo's presence is reshaping these ecosystems. But it's not just a threat to the ecosystems.
Sometimes the hippos will come into town.
Pues este hipopótamo se paseaba por plena zona céntrica de la localidad.
As the hippo population spreads, they're coming in contact with humans more and more often. And David worries that the locals here aren't aware just how dangerous these animals can be.
No son agresivos ni nada. Sí, como la mascota de ahí del pueblo.
Hace que la gente sienta mucho cariño hacia ellos, los vea como que no les hacen daño a nadie.
So far, no one's gotten hurt in one of these encounters, but with the hippo population growing so quickly, it won't be long before an accident happens. So David and his team have come up with a few strategies to tackle this problem. First, they tried to physically contain them with fences and rock walls.
O sea, no se pueden salir.
Ellos se salen. Sí.
¿Cómo?
Ellos se brincan.
¿Se brincan?
Entonces ellos lo empujan.
Y no hace nada del filoso este.
No,
Su piel.
pues lo rayan, pero una cosquilla.
Okay, so fences don't work. Next, they tried to castrate the males, stop them from reproducing. But tranquilizing and castrating a hippo is dangerous, time-consuming, and expensive.
Y uno alcanzará a hacer una esterilización al año. Estamos hablando que al año están resultando aproximadamente entre 5 y 10 hipopótamos. Entonces, eso no es una medida efectiva.
So one solution is what you do to any big, dangerous, invasive species when they start to take over an ecosystem that they're not native to. You exterminate them.
Los expertos de Sudáfrica nos decían, ustedes tienen un problema. El problema es una bomba de tiempo, cada vez va a ser peor. La solución es matarlos.
This didn't go well. The hunting team went out, killed one of the hippos, and then they posted this photo, which sparked a national outcry.
People did not like the idea of these hippos being hunted and killed.
Entonces, eso generó que un juez de la República prohibiera la caza controlada de hipopótamos. Mata un tigre, un jaguar, puma, un oso, porque a esos sí los matan, a estos no. Resulta que con los hipopótamos es un tema complejo porque los hipopótamos pues, son una especie muy carismática. Es una especie que la gente la ve muy llamativa, muy con un aspecto bonachón, tierno.
The best solution, and the one David is really pushing for, is to just move these hippos away.
Gestionar con entidades de todo el mundo que puedan recibirlos, que los podamos reubicar en sitios en los cuales se les garantice unas condiciones controladas.
But until that happens, Pablo Escobar's old estate will keep selling tickets to people who want to see the hippos. David and his team will continue to struggle to contain the situation, and the hippos, the real winners in all of this, will continue to bask in the reality that they truly do live in hippo heaven.